AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
We're back on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and other local favorites out there on Warrior Drive, locally operated by Anne-Marie Brents and the Lanning family. We're talking Rockvale football here this morning, and brand new football coach. I don't know, does it still feel brand new, Coach Counce?
No, it seems like I've been here a long time.
Yeah, I would say. First time on the air here on the Coach's Show. And you had a welcoming party earlier, but they were, I guess the heat got to them. Coach Walker and Will Kreisky, I think they were going to greet you.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
Yeah. It's amazing for people who maybe don't know you, but you've got ties to a lot of these guys here in the county and ties to Rutherford County, and you come from Henry County, right?
Yes, sir. And I played here in the early '90s and for Coach Donnelly at MTSU, and actually, I left it was 30 years ago in the same spring, that I came back and still know a lot of people and got a lot of ties here, and it's changed quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, hasn't it?
It's changed quite a bit, but, I love it up here.
Everybody goes through different changes and seasons in their life, but after 30 years, what brought you back to Rutherford County?
I think the biggest thing for me, being from Henry County and played for my dad, coached there with my dad, my two sons, the opportunity to win 2 state championships and first in school history, and then in 2018 we played again for it, and I think you get to a stage the longer we get in this or stay in this profession that I needed something for me personally, and I got a phone call, and the phone call was to ask if I knew of anybody, and it ended up it was me. So just challenges, new challenges. As long as I stayed at Henry County, I'm going to continue to be under my dad's umbrella, which I'm good with. Don't get me wrong.
Great umbrella.
So I've learned everything. Yeah. I feel like the greatest mentor to learn from. We coached together for 20 years. I just felt like I wanted to challenge myself, see what I can do. Do I still have it? Do I still have that drive, the determination, the dedication, the things to, go do something that nobody has done? The school is young, and we don't have the alumni base that these others have, and because this is year 7, and just wanted to bring that to these kids in the Rockvale community, and to give them what I've got, and to see if we could get things rolling in the right direction. So that's basically.
Yeah. You come to an area or a county, let's just look at it from a county perspective, that has had a team in the highest classification of football, whether it was 5A or 6A, that has had a team that has at least played in the semifinals or the championship game or won a state championship 30 out of the last 31 years. That's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
That is very remarkable. And for me, just like at Henry County, when I would put our schedule together, I always tried to get quality teams that would challenge us, mm-hmm. and what other better conference to be in than right here. And I think it brings out the best in all of us, as coaches, and I love the competitiveness and those kind of things. So
some of the smartest minds in high school football are in this county, don't you think?
Well, I don't know about included. If I'm in that group or not.
You are.
But but why not? To be the best, you got to beat the best, and that I think that sharpens all of us, having that opportunity to play against each other. We've
talked about this with some of the other coaches this morning. in terms of from one year to the next, the change that has been brought about, not only to high school athletics, but football in particular, and this year for the first time ever having all 8 teams in one region. I mean, number one, that just made the hardest area to play in even harder, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you got to it makes you, or me, you got to look at the off season and how you structure that, and the development of kids, and everybody you got to stay on top of things to be able to be competitive and to play against each other, and everybody knows each other, and it's a good environment.
The Rockvale community has, when Rockvale started, I think Steve Luker did something that, because it was the first time that we've brought back a high school that was a high school before, and it's always going to stick in my brain. It was reestablished in 2019, and so there is a unique perspective from that, and I think paying homage to the history that was before has done a lot to really probably push all programs, athletics included, a little further down the road than a school in its 7th year would be.
Exactly. And I was going to mention that there's a lot of those guys are very instrumental in the development and the things that, the progress that we're making, and just like getting the turf and all that kind of stuff. Those people have been very helpful and dedicated, and we appreciate them for that too. That
helps with the to-do list for coaches too, that turf, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It makes things, I'm a grass guy, deep down, but, for the availability, the functionality, the things that you can do, that turf allows you to do with as many kids as everybody has now.
All the usage.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One group walks off, another group walks on. Bands out there. It's very functional, and that helps. Where a grass field, you couldn't use that.
Well, tell me a little bit about your football team. I know that there are some integral pieces that were there last year to build on, and putting in your game plan, your philosophy that seems to have been received well in the community and with your players.
Well, we've got 8 new faces on defense and 9 on offense. We've got a lot of young kids that are stepping up in roles that, we're going through a few growing pains here. We have, gotten better throughout from when I got here in January through the spring to where we are now. We've come miles from the spring scrimmage, and those guys are getting better, and we've got some great kids that are seniors that are obviously playing key roles for us. But then again, we've got some younger kids too that are catching up, and the game's slowing down for them a little bit.
I guess your offense starts at quarterback, and you do have a guy who brings some experience to that, which obviously, if you've got 9 new kids on the offensive side, it helps to have the quarterbacks with some experience.
It does, and Jonathan Hamby, he's been super. He's a very dedicated young man. He works extremely hard, a great leader, both vocally and leads by example, and we put a lot on him, but it's been very I don't know what the word is, but helped bring some of the other guys along as having him there.
Yeah.
So it's been good for us.
You can tell a lot about a kid. The experience is one thing, but to help his whole team, get better and help set goals. It's a lot easier when it comes from a teammate than, you could preach all day, and sometimes
Absolutely.
It's hard and not, right?
You got to have those guys help deliver the message of what the standards are and what we expect, and he obviously does that. And he's a good football player and got a good arm, and he's mentally tough, and he's helped us in all those ways.
When and James Counce is here with us. We're talking Rockvale football. When you get asked the question about what's your offensive philosophy, what are you going to see on a Friday night offensively? Maybe kind of describe what we'll see when we see the Rockets on Friday.
Well, we're going to primarily live in 21 personnel. I like to have a tight end, sometimes two. It's a pro style, gap scheme oriented, quarterback run, read. We're going to RPO, play actions and boots off of that. We're not going to be hurry up. We're going to try to slow the game down a little bit and kind of method. Not going to be big play probably, for early on, but we're going to methodically try to keep the football and work down the field and limit possessions hopefully that way. But you got to run the football. And
a 12-play 6-minute drives for you, right? Defensively,
you got to stop the run. So we want to be physical. We want to be a physical team with everything we do, and that's kind of going to be our mindset.
Well, you get to open up at home. You've done this for 3 decades, but there's got to be a little something about first game at Rockvale, first home game. There's got to be excitement. It kind of relights the wood here, doesn't it?
And it's not for me.
Sure.
I'm excited for these kids,
right.
To kind of see and let them see and have something to feel good about, and play for each other and have fun, and that's the biggest thing for me is to let them. I've been pretty rough on them, and I just want them to see the benefits of doing things the way to our standards that we live by, and so that's the big part. Just hoping that they get to see that, and I'm excited to see them play.
I'm sure they're ready to hit somebody else too, right?
Yeah, well, I think we all are. Yeah,
I bet. Coach, thanks for coming in this morning, and as I've said with each coach, 10:30 for Rockvale. That is appointment listening for Rocket fans. Coach Counce will be on each week, or someone there from Rockvale if there's an issue, and we always look forward to having our standard time here to talk with all the coaches. And good luck on Friday night, and we'll see you back here next Saturday too.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. James Counce joining us, the head coach of the Rockvale Rockets. On the Coaches Show, brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com.